Greetings once again, YouTube. This is episode 3 of TEW 2016 WWE Red vs. Blue. We are live, week 3, Monday Night Raw, from the Phillips Arena in Atlanta, Georgia, in front of 14,873 people. The show opens up with an announcement from both Stephanie and Shane McMahon. Basically, Stephanie lets us all know that due to issues with travel, her pick for Raw General Manager will not be at the show tonight, and due to this, they will be revealing their general managers on SmackDown this coming week. So basically what happened, silly me, I didn't realize that my pick for Raw General Manager wasn't signed to a contract yet. So I officially signed the contract with this person last week. However, they're not available to start working for us until tomorrow game time. So although I promoted that the general managers would be revealed on Raw this week, due to this oversight, it will be moved to SmackDown. So because of that, I had to adjust my plans for the show this week. I had to add some filler segments to make up for the time that I had allotted to the reveals. So with that being said, the segment got a 61C, no worker improvements. First match in a bout that had decent wrestling but didn't have much heat. The Wyatt family, consisting of Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman, defeated the Usos in 9:43, when Braun Strowman defeated Jey Uso by pinfall with the running power slam. In terms of ring work, Bray Wyatt was head and shoulders above everyone else, and Braun Strowman was the weak link. Jimmy Uso had an in-ring performance 64. Jey 63, Braun had an in-ring performance of 39, and Bray had a performance rating of 76. The segment got a 71C plus rating, no worker improvements. After that, we got a nice little promo featuring the New Day and the Wyatts. Basically, the Wyatts are in the ring after having won their match over the Usos. New Day comes out, and they get into a little promo. Basically, New Day talking about how they don't understand why the Wyatts are always so negative, always so dark, always so gloomy, and they like to look on the brighter side of life, find things positive to, embrace, and then they proceed to rip on the Wyatt family. They say, hey, we understand why you're always so negative, always so dark and gloomy. I mean, take a look at you, and referring to Braun Strowman, you look like a giant kid with a big beard. What's with that, And then we've got someone, in referring to Luke Harper, that obviously has only one pair of clothes and no washing machine because he's worn the same outfit every day for the last 3 years. Then we have, in referring to Eric Rowan, the world's tallest and saddest car mechanic. And then finally we have Bray Wyatt, the world's worst cult leader, because those 3 people are the best he can get in terms to followers. So basically, that's just the New Day just making jokes at the expense of the Wyatt family. The segment got a 69C plus rating, no worker improvements. In the next match, in a decent bout, Alberto Del Rio defeated R-Truth in 10-17. Excuse me, I had a cough there. So Alberto Del Rio defeated R-Truth in 10-17 by submission with a cross arm breaker. The match got a 65C rating. R-Truth had an in-ring performance of 42. Del Rio had an in-ring performance of 74. No worker improvements. Next segment was a backstage segment involving Seth Rollins, Rusev, and Chris Jericho, hyping their main event match tonight against Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and AJ Styles. Basically, Seth is, back there giving orders to both Rusev and Jericho, saying how he's the captain of the team and how he's going to lead them to victory, just like he led Rusev to victory last week. Rusev interjects and goes, hey, I'm the only one that has gold in this team, so I think I should be the leader. I'm the United States champion. I'm the leader. What gold do you two people have? And then Jericho, of course, he looks at both of them with disdain and goes, hey, you stupid idiots. I'm the GOAT. I'm the greatest of all time. I've got more titles in my career than both of you combined, so I should be the captain. You got that, Jax? Basically, just, three heels, both all have egos, not really on the same page because they all want to lead. They all want to be the leader of the team. But a good segment there. 84 B+ rating. No worker improvements. Next match, in a bout that had subpar wrestling and little heat, the Vaudevillains defeated the Lucha Dragons in 7:46 when Aiden English defeated Sin Cara by pinfall after using a foreign object. The match got a 53C- rating. Simon Gotch has an in-ring performance of 46, Aiden English 41, Sin Cara 50, and Kalisto 52. No worker improvements there. Next segment, 49D+. Curtis Axel is in the ring and he's issuing an open challenge. He feels like he's not getting his opportunity and he's going to make one. He's going to come out there and grab the brass ring, and he's issuing an open challenge to anyone out in the back that wants to come out and test the skill. No worker improvements, and his open challenge is answered by the Big Show. And in a decent match, the Big Show defeated Curtis Axel in 7:42 by pinfall with a chokeslam. Curtis Axel had an in-ring performance of 49, the Big Show 67. The match got a 61C rating. And Curtis Axel is improving in both Rumble and performance skills. Oh yeah, that's what I like to see. Curtis getting those gains, man. Hopefully he improves, because he is actually someone that I, think he'd be a good mid-card asset. Next segment is a backstage promo with Charlotte and Emma. They're hyping up their upcoming tag team match against Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks. And Charlotte just kind of hypes up as well the Fatal 4-Way at Battleground for her women's title, saying how Natalya, Sasha, and Becky will bow before the Queen, and how she'll walk in as women's champion and walk out women's champion, and she will appear on Raw or SmackDown after the draft as the show's women's champion. The segment got a 64C rating. No worker improvements. In a bout that had subpar wrestling and little heat, Charlotte and Emma defeated Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks in 8:59 when Charlotte defeated Becky Lynch by pinfall with the natural selection. Emma was the weak link, struggling to keep up with everyone else's in-ring performance. The match had a 54C- rating. Sasha had an in-ring performance of 59, Becky had a 51, Emma 36, and Charlotte 50, which I'm actually kind of surprised Charlotte is that low, but in due time we'll get her back up. No worker improvements. Next segment is a 72B-, a backstage promo with Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. They're backstage talking about last week how Roman accidentally Superman punched Ambrose, which caused them to lose their tag team match. Roman was just like, hey man, I'm sorry, Seth ducked, you were in the way, you got hit, no, it is what it is. And Dean's just like, I understand, but remember, payback's a bitch. And then come Battleground, we're going to go in, and it's going to be every man for himself. But tonight, we could be teaming for possibly the last time. So, hey, let's make the best of it. And Roman kind of like nods in agreement, and he's like, yeah, like old times. Maybe the last time we'll be teaming together. However, this is one of the last times you will be coming to Raw as the WWE Champion, because at Battleground, the big dog is going to reclaim his property and become WWE Champion once again. And they get kind of in an intense stare down, and then AJ Styles walks in and kind of plays peacekeeper like, hey guys, save that for Battleground, but tonight we got to focus on our match tonight. We need to make sure that we're all on the same page. And then both Roman and Dean kind of turn around and question AJ about where he's at and what's going on with the club. And AJ just kind of like brushes us off, like, hey, don't worry about it. That's neither here nor there. We just need to worry about our match tonight. There's no worker improvements. Otherwise, pretty good segment. And the next segment, we have The Miz coming out, and he's basically still upset that he lost that non-title match to Dolph Ziggler. He felt it's a fluke, and that he's the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time, and no one could touch him. And right now, he is calling out any former Intercontinental Champion in the back that wants to come out and test him. And he's going to prove to the world that Dolph Ziggler beating him last week was not, it was a fluke. It wasn't something that's going to happen regularly. He's the best. He's the best Intercontinental Champion of all time. He's, made this belt more prestigious, and he's going to prove it right now. No worker improvements. The segment got a 76B-, so a good promo for The Miz. And the person answering the challenge is Goldust. In a bout that had decent wrestling but didn't have much heat, The Miz defeated Goldust in 11:52 by pinfall with a skull-crushing finale. The match got a 57C- rating. Goldust had an in-ring performance of 51, The Miz 55. No worker improvements. I'm actually kind of surprised that Goldust had that high of a rating. I figured he'd probably be in the low 40s, based on him not really doing much on TV for a while, even back in 2016. But I digress, I'm not going to complain. Next segment, The Miz is celebrating his victory when Dolph Ziggler comes out and gets into it with The Miz, basically, getting revenge from The Miz sneak attacking him on SmackDown last week. And the segment finishes with The Miz retreating from Ziggler, and Ziggler, trying to get Miz to come back while Ziggler's music's playing. The segment got a 66C+ rating. No worker improvements. Next segment, the Shining Stars come out to the ringside, trying to sell their timeshares to their Puerto Rico Paradise, and this brings out Mark Henry, who basically destroys them to shut them up and get them out of the way. Not much to the segment, just kind of filler. 63C rating, so not bad for a filler segment featuring a low tandem tag team. Next segment, in a bout that had subpar wrestling and a little heat, Baron Corbin defeated Zack Ryder in 9:59 by pinfall with an end of days. The match got a 49D plus rating. Zack had a in-ring performance of 44. Corbin had an in-ring performance of 46. No worker improvements. And we move on. We have a backstage interview with Renee Young, who is backstage with Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens basically taunting Sami Zayn about their upcoming match at Battlegrounds, saying he's destroyed Sami Zayn before and he's going to do it again, and this time it'll be permanent. The segment got a 63C rating. No worker improvements. In the next match, in a decent match, Kevin Owens and Sheamus defeated Sami Zayn and Cesaro in 21-24 when Kevin Owens defeated Cesaro by pinfall with a pop-up powerbomb. The match got a 71C plus rating. Sheamus had an in-ring performance of 70, Kevin Owens 67, Cesaro 65, and Sami Zayn 59. No worker improvements. Kind of disappointed with the match rating. I kind of hoped it'd be at least a B minus, but I digress. Kind of disappointing that Sami Zayn only has a 59 in-ring performance, but hopefully in due time we'll get that up as well. Next segment is John Cena coming out for guest commentary for the main event. Just a simple segment of him making his entrance and going to the commentary table, and that got a 78B rating. And we move on to our main event. Change a gimmick. Oh, well, we'll do that later. I think we're just changing his gimmick. Don't worry, we're not turning Cena heel, so I think it's just a basic gimmick change. So, main event time, in a good match, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and AJ Styles defeated Seth Rollins, Rusev, and Chris Jericho in 1936, when Roman Reigns defeated Rusev by pinfall with a spear. The match got a 77B rating. Jericho had an in-ring performance of 81, Rusev 73, Seth Rollins 78, AJ Styles 70, Dean Ambrose 77, and Roman Reigns 76. Kind of shocking that AJ has the lowest in-ring performance of all of them, but once again, hopefully we can get that up. AJ is improving in technical and performance skills, which is good to see. And the final segment, as the babyfaces are leaving the ring, the Club come out from the crowd and jump John Cena from behind, and they, basically they beat up John Cena, and then they put him through a table with the Magic Killer, and AJ Styles happens to come back down to the ring and run them off, but it was too little too late. But the question is, was he intentionally slow getting there because he wanted the Club to, basically hurt John Cena, or was he legitimately trying to get there as fast as he can? That's basically what we're going after with this end of show segment. The rating got a 64C, no worker improvements. Now, You might wonder why John Cena hasn't been in any matches yet so far. It's because he's dealing with an undisclosed leg injury. Well, while he can work, he can do matches. I don't want to do it. I don't want to put him in any matches unless I absolutely have to prevent further injury to his leg. So until he heals, for the most part, he's just going to be wrestling pay-per-views. And that is the end of the show, and we get a 76 B- rating. The show lost its popularity in 31 regions, which is disappointing, but I'm not too fussed about it. I am actually kind of happy with the overall show rating. I think 76 B- is a really strong rating. And that is the end of the episode. So remember, our next episode is SmackDown, which we will definitely reveal the general managers of Raw and SmackDown. And then the next Raw episode will be the draft. So if you like the episode, be sure to hit that thumbs up, leave a comment, anything of the sort. And until next time, take care.